Welcome to tonight's reading of Breaking Traditions, The Shifter and the Mage by Madilynn Dale. Chapter 1, Natalie. I pulled the strap of my backpack over my shoulder as it slides. It has been a crazy week with the start of college, meeting new people, and moving into the dorms. As a freshman, they had us go through a specific new student orientation for a day, where we met different peers and spent time with our roommates. It was overwhelming for me, to say the least. I am a person that typically enjoys time to myself. I have a limited number of friends that I trust, and I enjoy my peace and quiet. Thankfully, my roommate seems to be the same type of person, so we should get along well. As I get my bag situated, I continue my path across the vibrant green grass of United Magical Beings Academy Midwest's lawn. My classes have ended for the day, and I am heading back to my dorm room. Looking at the lawn as I walk, it seems like they put a lot of money into upkeep. The grass appears to be cut to a perfect height, and the trees are trimmed. The multiple beds of flowers are blooming even for this late in the summer. The fountain in front of the cafeteria is a bright blue with sparkling water. They must have recruited some type of tree nymph, water nymph, or another in that category to help maintain such a striking look. It is truly amazing. Moving past the fountain, I see a large building that stands in the way of me reaching my dorm building. It contains the cafeteria and is an older brick building. The building has giant windows along the front that allow plenty of natural light for those enjoying a meal. It is newer than the building I am living in this semester, but not by much. My dorm building is much older. It is situated directly behind the cafeteria, with only a single street separating them. It has small, square windows on its side where each of the tiny dorm rooms are located. The metal along the windows is rusty, and several are missing screens. Vines are creeping up on one side of the building to the point that it may one day attempt to pull the building down. The front door of the building creaks as I open it with my key fob. It has two decent-sized windows on either side of it that allows lights into the lobby. Students may come and go as they please in the lobby, but there are separate sides for male and female students. One may only enter with a student key fob, which is explicitly coded for the specific side. The lobby consists of several overstuffed couches and chairs tucked into a corner around a giant smart TV. It is the only nice-looking thing in the room. There are also a few bar stool tables tucked on the opposite side for students to use while studying. The place is carpeted, and unfortunately with that comes the lingering smell of mildew. I continue through the lobby and into the corridor leading to the stairs. The stairs make me nervous, but I begin my steady climb to the second floor. This building does not have an elevator, being an older structure, so on move-in day, everyone had to move all their furniture up and down stairs. It was exhausting. I am glad that my room is on the second floor of the building, but I felt terrible for those who live on the fifth floor. The stairs are also extremely steep going up, which made it even more of a challenge. They are made of concrete, though, so at least I know they are sturdy. Pushing my fear to the back of my mind, I place a hand on one side of the rails and begin to climb. I hear my heeled boots clumping on the concrete as I go. There is not much of a heel on them, but it is enough to let me seem taller than I am. A curvy girl like me, being 5 foot and 3 inches, needs all the extra lift she can get. I chose not to wear much of a heel since I am a bit uncoordinated at times. My shifter abilities don't seem to aid in that area either, because my wolf is the same. Reaching the top, I fling my dark curly brown hair over my shoulder and take in a deep breath. Letting it out with a sigh, I readjust my bag and use my key fob once again to unlock the door that leads to my hall. I love the extra security this place has, but at the same time, it can be annoying. After hearing the beep and the click of the lock moving, I push through the creaky door and transition back to the floor's carpeted surface. One thing about the stairwell is that it lacks the smell of mildew since the windows are always left open. It doesn't prevent you from being slapped in the face with it, though, once you get into the hall. I let the door close behind me and step down the hall, moving past the white cinder block walls. I go 3 doors down to a purple door with 2 cute magnets on the front. One of the magnets is a brown wolf with my name on it, Natalie, and the other is a purple viper with its title Addie on it. The number on the door is 207. I pull my bag off my shoulder and dig around in its black pockets for my key. After a minute of digging and setting the bag on the floor for more control, I find my key. I slide the silver thing into the lock on the door and turn it. The door easily swings open and I enter my room. Addie and I have tried our best to make it more comfortable since we moved in. We have cleaned it like crazy with bleach and other scented cleaners to rid it of the mildew stench. We even bought yellow curtains for the small, dreary window that overlooks the parking lot. It seemed to help a little by bringing a cheerful color to the room, but the color clashes with our bedding sets. My bedding is all shades of green, which reminds me of trees in the forest. Hers are all shades of browns like the earth. The two seem to do well with each other, but not with the yellow. We don't mind it too much. Our room is not very big and is filled with most of the items the school supplies for each room. It has 2 twin beds, nightstands, and desks, all made of stained pine. There are closets built into the back wall with sliding wooden doors that tend to get stuck. Since moving in, we have purchased a mini fridge, a microwave, and a small TV that rests on top of the fridge. There isn't enough room for much of anything else, but we have someone that will be giving us an old love seat to sit on. We plan on trying to squeeze it in between the 2 beds somehow. I make my way across the room to my desk and set my bag in my chair. I pull my phone out of the side pocket and see a message from Addie on it. It says, "Hey, I found out about a party tonight at one of the frat houses close to campus. Do you want to go?" I sigh and take a minute before responding. I have never been much of a social person, and parties typically are not my thing, but I am trying my best to branch out now that I am here. I have always followed the rules my parents set forth growing up, and followed tradition with everything I was required to do. But things are different now. My recent breakup seemed to open my eyes regarding the tradition of shifters, and I don't know if I can be the same person I was before. My ex, Theodore Blemmings, aka Theo, and I dated for 3 years. I thought I was in love until I realized I wasn't. Mates are something shifters have always sought to find, but after so many struggled to find theirs, they began finding someone else they were compatible with. I thought I was compatible with Theo, but I realized he was controlling me. He managed who I was friends with, what I ate, when I worked out, what I wore, you name it. I was blind to it for a long time, but after spending a week with my childhood friend Sophie several hours away, we broke it off. He had a complete meltdown while I was there, and I just couldn't handle it. I cried for a long time to see something that lasted so long come to an end, but deep down, I knew I would be better off. I might even come across my mate now that we are split up, and I won't have any hindrance in pursuing that shifter. Pulling myself from my thoughts, I type out a response to Addie. Me. "Hey, yeah, I will go. Where is it and what time? Are we going to carpool?" Addie. "Great. Let me get the info and send it to you. I'll meet you there." A few minutes later, my phone goes off with the details. I have directions, a picture of an older home, and suggestions for parking. It doesn't start for another few hours, so that gives me some time to grab some dinner before I get ready. I contemplate running out to grab something, heating some ramen, or going to the cafeteria for dinner. I choose to run out and get food. I will start getting ready when I get back. After returning with my food and stuffing my face, I jump in the shower. The showers are down the hall from our room, so I take my robe, flip-flops, and toiletries. I then return to my room to blow dry my hair. I style it in loose curls that frame my face. I dab on a bit of makeup and line my eyes with black eyeliner, making the green pop. Once makeup and hair are finished, I slip into a pair of skinny jeans paired with a fitted black top that shows off my curves. I slide into a pair of black boots with a heel and glance over my appearance. Next, I add silver jewelry to my getup. Taking another look, I decided that I look good, but not so much that I will draw unwanted attention. I move over to my closet, which has several unpacked boxes in the bottom of it, resting on the wooden surface. I come up with a small black clutch after digging around for a minute or two and fill it with my debit card, license, and emergency cash. I like to be prepared for anything, but I also don't want to carry around a large purse. There is no telling what kind of beings will be in attendance. After checking that I have all I need, I grab my keys and head out the door and down into the lobby. I keep a hand on the rail as I descend the stairs wearing these heels. They are a bit thinner than what I wore earlier today, and I do not want to break my ankle. I take a deep breath when I reach the bottom of the stairs and head through the lobby and out the front. As I pass through the creaky doors into the outdoors, I take a deep breath of the fresh night air. It smells like rain, so I hope I make it back later before it has rained too much. I turn and move along the building to the parking lot. I have a red Malibu somewhere in the depths of it, and I know I can see it from our window, but I am terrible about losing myself in them. I am literally that person that goes into a store to come out with no idea where she parked. Finding my vehicle at the back of the lot, I slide in and start it up. I turn the music up a bit and back out of my spot. I listen to the music on my radio as I drive for several minutes towards the party's location. Reaching my destination, I see there are already a ton of cars and paranormal beings present. I end up having to park one block over from where the house is, and I send up a silent prayer to the goddess that the rain seriously holds off until I'm back at the dorm. I do not want to walk over here in the rain, and my wolf form would leave me smelling like a wet dog if I decided to shift and run for it that way. Not gonna happen. I slide out of my car and double check that I have my things before making the short trek down the block. As I finally step foot on the lawn, I see that the house is made of brick and is 3 stories high. The windows and trim could use a new paint job, but are a faded, dirty white. There is a porch that appears to wrap around to the back of the house, and the flower beds look they have seen better days. I step cautiously up the cracked sidewalk toward the front door and pause before entering to shoot a text to Addie. I probably should have done that before I left the car, but too late now. I don't wait to get a response before I push through the door and into a crowded entryway. People are standing around chatting in the door, so I push my way through and follow the hardwood floor towards what I hope is the kitchen. Rounding the corner, I notice that my heels begin to click as the hardwood shifts to tile. I take in the open kitchen and the smell of beer hanging in the air. The kitchen is nice, with white cabinets and granite countertops. They don't seem like they should be in a home that looks like the outside of this one. They are way too fancy for this house, and I would expect something like laminate countertops in a home like this, honestly. I head in the direction of the bar after I notice there are several kegs of beer. I join the line of partygoers to fix a drink. I hope the beer is cold. I am not a huge beer drinker as it is, but warm beer is straight up disgusting. I just can't do it. As I stand waiting for several minutes, I look around and notice that there is a mixed crowd here. There are both humans and paranormal beings present. It makes me smile to know that we can all get along and just have fun. The paranormal population has only been out of hiding for about 20 years now. However, there is still a lot of prejudice. Most of it is due to the fear of the unknown, but it has gotten quite ridiculous if you ask me. People need to be more accepting and willing to learn about things they are unsure of. We are all equal, really, and created for love. I pull myself from my thoughts as the blonde girl in front of me moves away with a blue cup filled to the brim with beer. She gives me a sheepish smile as she accidentally spills some of it, stepping past me. I think she may have had a bit too much already. I grab myself a cup next to the keg and tilt it to fill it up with the least amount of foam possible. Satisfied with the amount I have in my cup, I move in the direction the blonde girl went in hopes of finding a safe place to check my phone. As I move through the group of people, I feel the floor transition to carpet and find myself entering what may be the den or a large living room. It has gray carpet and overstuffed couches seated around a huge TV. There is also a pool table on the opposite side of the room surrounded by a large group of guys. I casually sniff the air without drawing attention and pick up on their scent as I move across the room. Their smell is earthy and musty, identifying them as bear shifters. I keep my distance from them since they tend to have anger issues without the encouragement of alcohol to let it loose. I glance around the room some more and notice there is minimal art on the white walls. People are clustered in corners, chatting away. I spot an empty spot next to a potted plant in the corner not far from the bear shifters and head that way. I pull out my phone once I am safely tucked into the corner and see that I have no messages. I let out a frustrated sigh and take a swig of my beer. It is cool as it slides down my throat and it seems to relax me a bit. Feeling a bit better, I open up my senses and detect the smell of pot in the air. I can't help but wonder where it's coming from. I scan the room some more and my eyes land on a tall figure across the room. I am drawn to him for some reason, and I have no idea why. As if he feels my eyes on him, he turns around and we make eye contact. My mouth drops open a bit as I am met with striking lime green eyes. The man they belong to is muscular with a dark head of hair and a bit of beard. He is sexy as hell, and his riveting stare makes my insides melt.